and today I am reading my new story that I made yesterday. It is 5 pages long and it's called The Sane Killer. I hope you guys enjoy. One cloudy day, a 3-year-old boy and his brothers were playing in the living room and were enjoying the new house they moved in a week or two ago. But that happiness turned into confusion as his parents started arguing about something he didn't know. His mom stormed into the living room, still shouting, until she went mute and collapsed, hitting her head against the coffee table. He shouted the best he could for his dad, and when he entered and saw his wife on the floor and not moving, he broke down. 12 years later, the son turned 15 years old, and to cope around the feeling of torture from his witness of his mum's death, and to express his feelings, he started writing horror books and posted them on his YouTube channel. This went on for a long time until he turned 17. At 17, he decided to get therapy, and after the first 5 sessions, the therapist said he was definitely traumatized and would need to take time for himself. The boy did and relaxed, but when he went back to therapy, he was told the trauma was almost covering his whole heart. He went to college the next day, where he was teased for needing therapy and also teased about needing to about needing to go to therapy. Needed to go to a mental asylum. After college, he went to his dorm room, where it was empty because his roommate went to a party. After 10 minutes, he grabbed one of his belts and his strongest bench press beams and screwed it to the ceiling. He put the belt over it and tightened it around his neck and kicked the chair he was standing on. And before he could hang himself, the belt loosened and he dropped to the floor and hit his head on the coffee table on his way down. After an hour, his dorm mate comes back from the party and notices that and dials 999, and the paramedics arrive 11 minutes later. They put him on a stretcher and carry him to the ambulance and arrive at the hospital. When he gains consciousness, the doctor explains that he had a belt rash all around his neck, and the front of his throat was bruised severely, and he would struggle talking. 2 other people walk in and take him to a mental asylum. When they arrive, they put him in a cushioned cell room He lays on the bed, relaxed, until he heard screaming from the room nearby. A room nearby. His eyes became cold and distant from then on. After being toured everywhere, he had a plan. He found a pen in his room and wrote on the cushioned walls, and he purposely got moved near the weakest person there. At dark, he sneakily got out of his room, and after timing the guards' schedules, and snuck into the weakest one's room. He beat the person up until he was unrecognizable, and he shoved him outside the room and snuck back into his room and pretended to be asleep. And when the guards saw the person's body, they entered his room and woke him up. But before the guard could react, he was attacked and killed. He swapped clothes with the guard and pretended to work, scouting the other rooms to find who was the craziest one. He found them, and the next morning he lured that one to an electric torture device and strapped him on. He put syringes in him and then put the volt clips on him and switched the power on and walked away whilst the person screamed and cried. His doctor ran in too late as the person was fried and lifeless. The boy patrolled around, picking people and made a mental note. At night and day, when people were asleep or busy, he would lure them out of their rooms and would kill them whilst laughing hysterically. In 1 week, he had killed everyone on his floor. He was moved to the other floor above him. He found the toughest person, and he would purposely annoy him until they were put on opposite sides. And that night, he hit him and choked him with a tie he stole from the staff room. The next day, his room was searched, but nothing was found. He was watched more and more with more security around his room. One night he went out of his room and found an operation room, and that night he dragged someone else there and strapped them on and jabbed them with a sleeping syringe. He started cutting the person's body and removing their largest intestine, and wrapped it around their neck and connected it to a volt chip and turned it on. Around turned it on and left for his room. The next morning, the body was found. I was asleep, smiling, and one of the doctors storms in and wakes me up. One Oh, hi, doctor. What are you doing here? He asked. The doctor, with anger in his eyes. Another murder happened, and you're the key suspect. He replied. When aren't I? Jokingly. The doctor stares at him, but he doesn't feel threatened, and his real eyes shine in the light above him. The doctor starts feeling beads of sweat going down his face, and he rushes out. That night, he finds the doctor and he grabs a crowbar next to the door and brings it into the doctor's head and pulls back, removing the back half of the doctor's brain and the back of the head. And he starts choking them with the blood-stained crowbar. He rushes back into his room and sleeps. Every night he finds a good object or tool to kill the people with and no, at midday when people and guards are busy, he would strike. After 4 months of him arriving, he has killed just under 3/4 of the other people and half of the staff without being caught. He leaves this week off because he's tired of being the killer. One stormy day, a new guy was brought in, and his red eyes gleamed as he stared at the new guy. The new guy was put next to his room. The next morning, he knocks on the door. New guy opens it. He takes the new guy around and sorry guys. Hangs with him as others keep their distance from him, as they can tell that he's the killer, but can't tell the staff because they won't believe them. After free time, they go back to their rooms, and he sneaks out but is caught by 2 doctors and 2 guards. But he laughs and everyone opens their doors to watch. The 4 staff approach him, but he slits one of the doctor's throats and uses them as a shield from the bullets. And he grabs one of the guns and kills the guard and the other 2 staff. The new guy walks towards me. I stare at him, but he keeps walking till he punches me. I fight him and win. Just so you know, new guy, I've killed over 3/4 of the people here in 4 months. He shoots the new guy in the head, and his brain splatters into his face. He licks his lips and wipes it off his face as blood drips into his mouth. He walks to every door and kills them all. Actual police arrive with rifles and try to kill him, but he walks out of the front door, getting chased, but before they can get him, the whole place blows up. No, the whole place blows by his bombs strategically placed in specific people's rooms, and the police cars explode by the bombs in the sewers that he found but didn't escape through, as he wanted the satisfaction of killing people. He walked off unharmed that day, and he changed his identity and fled the country, but was found by police there and was put in the strictest facility. To be continued. That is that. And I will make a second one of that, put him in the prison cell. Gonna make it a lot harder for him to actually get out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. Goodbye.